Hello everyone, this is Singy from the Sanctum of the Soul, and I'm here today with the incredible True Black Tarot. I have been waiting for this for about 2 years, I think, since the Kickstarter campaign, and it was supposed to ship by last December, but because there was some printing errors in the Hierophant card, it got delayed, and so basically the creator Arthur Wang, I guess, since it's American, offered to either ship that copy with the misprinted card, or we could wait until now for the updated version, and that he would include the misprinted card in the deck. So unfortunately, I have after the unboxing that I did, discovered that there was no misprinted card included, and I have since reached out to him, and he has very promptly replied that there are some litigation, legal issues with the manufacturer publisher, yeah, one of those, and so all of those cards are now kept as evidence, so it wasn't included, which is, I think, the best reason you could possibly have, so I can't fault him for that, and I thank him, sincerely, for the very prompt reply. So yeah, I'm going to do the actual flip through and review. So it came in this box, and there's all sorts of this weird confetti thing in there, which I found a bit excessive, I think, especially because it got all over the place when I opened it. But it did do its job. The box came in perfect condition, so it does that, and I am glad that this looks like paper. I think it might have been the leftover paper from the printing, so I guess that's upcycling. I hope that's upcycling, but I've got no idea what to do with this, because it seems like such a waste to just discard it, even to just recycle it. So I will think of something, I hope. So the deck itself came wrapped in this gorgeous black paper, and yeah, God. Right. So you can see on the box that it says True Black. I'm sorry. Let me just put that on silent. Alright. So you can see that it says True Black here, and it's got this constellation, and it's a seamless constellation. Goes all the way to the back. And here it says 2018 True Black Aurex Reserved, and that's it. The box is so gorgeous in its simplicity, but I want to say simplicity, but there's nothing simple about the amount of detail that went into it. So I love that it's completely black. I think it's so, it's going to be iconic, I think, and it's just so, I don't know, like groundbreaking. Like, you haven't seen anything like that, even in the Tarot de la Nuit. It wasn't black, it was silver, so this is the very first true black one, so true to its name. Right, so the box is magnetic. You see it's perfectly magnetic, and it's got the words here. It is only in darkness that we see the stars, and that is exactly what I've been saying all along. Whenever I speak out against the light and dark, duality or dichotomy, this is what I always say. And you can see as well that the design is seamless even on the inside. Well, maybe it's not seamless. Yeah, it's not seamless. My bad. Right. So this is what it came in. I've taken the cards out during the unboxing, but I kind of replaced it as best as I could. And we've got the guidebook, which is also in the same material, and it's got all the cards in there. And I really love that you've got the keywords, you've got the oh, Anant. So this is the extra card. That's why this deck has 79 instead of 78 cards. And you've got the additional artwork where he explains what the artwork is. In this case, it's a constellation or a celestial object, I guess, or deep space object. So it does explain some of the artwork in a lot of the cards, as well as the meanings, of course. And so you can see that there are no reversed meanings here, so I mean, it's not a big deal. We don't really use the guidebook anyway, but after you see the artwork, you might consider not doing the reversed, because it's already such a balanced deck. You don't really need the reversed meanings of the cards. So here we go. So one gripe I've had is that the cards don't fit perfectly in the box. So the only reason they're staying put is because I fit in the paper, and it's going to be a hassle to keep doing this over and over again. So I really wish that the box would have been better fitting. So yeah, here we go. Let's see, it's just a matte black in the inside, on the inside. God, English. Alright, so this is the absolutely gorgeous deck. There we go. So this is the cover card. It's got True Black. I'm going to have to be doing this a lot because it's in this glossy black. So I'm going to have to be doing this a lot in the video. And this is the back of the card. Look at how gorgeous it is. And you can see that the cardstock, it's etched in black, of course. And the cardstock is absolutely thick. And it's so velvety. And if the website is to be believed, these are splash resistant, scratch resistant. Yeah, basically they're basically indestructible. I'm not going to try that. I'm not going to be doing readings in the rain or by the pool, but good to know, I guess. And I'm not going to be scratching it because they are so gorgeous. I can't bear to. Anyway, so we've got the cards, and surprisingly, I have already separated the cards during the unboxing, but they are still sticking together a bit. I hope it would go away after a few shuffles, because I haven't shuffled the deck yet because I wanted to do this video first. So here we go. First card, we've got the Fool. Love that it's a baby. I love the eggs, all the symbols of birth, of beginnings. You've got the doves. So beautiful. I love the butterfly wings. Well, I'm assuming they're butterfly wings. They're so gorgeous. So at the start, you can see that there's a bit of roughness on the edges. It's not really a big deal. I think it's just going to rub off in time, so I hope it's going to rub off in time. But either way, it's not really that big a deal. Like, this card's perfect, you can see. Not really, but So that's the Magician. Love that they still included the infinity sign, so at least that's some adherence to the RWS. That is so gorgeous. And we've got, so one thing I might have to point out is that if you are a beginner at tarot, this deck might not be for you, because there are no numbers, there aren't the traditional symbols that you would expect to find, so they can be a bit hard to interpret. But if you're just a tarot enthusiast, this deck is definitely for you. It's for everyone to collect because it's just so gorgeous. Like, look at that. Just so gorgeous. Like, you don't even have to use it. Just, you know, put it somewhere. Draw a card a day. Look at it. Take it out. Shuffle. Marvel at how beautiful it is. You know, you don't even have to read with it because it's just so gorgeous. But alright, enough gushing. So we've got the High Priestess. Really love the scribbles. She's sitting on a crescent seat, I guess. Just holding on to what on earth is that? So the lighting's really bad, so I can't really. I think it's a pomegranate, so this could be Persephone. And a pendulum, I think. I think that's a pomegranate. I can't really tell. Yeah. So on the website it says that the art style refuses to be, you know, put into any kind of category. Like you can't really put your finger on which time period it's from, which I do agree. I mean, obviously it's modern. You know, you can see that it's modern with some bricolage, I guess, of styles from all over the place. So you've got the Romanesque kind of clothing on some cards, and then you've got the very modern kind of clothing, but yet you still got the classical Western art leaves, the motifs. So it is very like I said, it's a bricolage of styles, and it's so one of the cards even has some Oriental origins, which doesn't surprise me since the author is ethnically Chinese, I think. Right. So we've got this, and this is the Empress, and you've got this chemical symbol. I can't tell you what the chemical symbol is, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be something, you know, like a, I don't know, like a motherly kind of hormone or an endorphin or some kind of hormone. I'm pretty sure it's some kind of hormone. I'm going to look it up later. In fact, I think perhaps they would tell us in the book. That's the Empress card, which is here. So there we go. It's the hormone oxytocin, which is the love hormone. Right, I was right. So yeah, that is an example of the modern kind of symbolism that he has included, which I absolutely love. You know, it does get a bit old to be constantly, you know, interpreting based on ancient mythology. Might as well look up the High Priestess card if that's Persephone. Oh my god, so behind the High Priestess is a topographic map of the Mariana Trench. So it doesn't say. It's a K. Dowsing pendulum. A pomegranate symbolizes the fertility of the feminine power. Alright. So it's not Persephone, but it's got the Mariana Trench in the background. So those aren't scribbles. That's a topographical map of the Mariana Trench. That is so amazing. Like, this deck constantly amazes me. So I don't think I'm going to be able to tell you all the symbolism because there are so many of them. Like, all of these represent something. So they're not just scribbles. I apologize to Arthur for that. But yeah, this is so genius. I can't. Okay. Right, so that's the Emperor. That's the card that was misprinted. It said HEIRO on the first batch. And we've got this. Look at that starburst. Oh god. And the red threads of destiny, I assume. And that's the chariot. We've got the some kind of constellation, I believe. Or is that the moon? I've got no idea. And you've got the two, you know what? This one's intriguing. I've just got to look at it. Ah, God. Emperor. Justice, Destiny, Hermit, Strength, Chariot. So, apparently it is the descent of the Apollo lunar module. Oh. Oh, so that's... So he's taken the chariot from just a vehicle further, and it's gone into space travel. So that is genius. Love it. Love it. Oh, God. And that's strength. So beautiful. And then we've got the hermit. Sorry, look at all the axes, I guess, and spears, strength. And that's the hermit. Give me 1 second. I think it might be an important message. Alright, so apologies for that. So that's the hermit card again with the starburst. And I've got destiny. So at the start I believe that this would be the additional card, but since the next card is justice, I am going to assume this is the Wheel of Fortune. And you've got the elemental signs, 2 up and 2 down, and you've got some kind of circular galaxy, I guess, I don't know. And yeah, so that's destiny. And we've got justice. Look at the beautiful constellation. And I love how androgynous this is. You've got the sign of, you know, absolute power, I guess, and authority or enlightenment. But, you know, you can't really tell if it's a female form or a male form. And I love that. Pretty sure that's Libra. Pretty sure. And that's the Hanged Man. Not sure what that is. Some kind of cyber. Huh. This is so intriguing. I can't. Alright, so justice. Yep, that's the constellation Libra. For the Hanged Man, that's the schematic view of the city of Teotihuacan. That's the Mexican city, the Temple of the Sun, I think. I've got no idea how to pronounce that. I apologize to all the ancient gods for mangling that, but yeah. So I've got the Hanged Man. So lovely. And this is one of my favorite cards in the Major Arcana. That's the Death card. You can look, you can see at the back. Okay, sorry. So you've got the skull dripping blood. You've got this very, I can't tell if it's a wolf or a dragon. Like it's either an oriental dragon or some kind of northern wolf. And you've got you know, a Roman looking statue at the back. And you've got Chinese words here. So from what I can see, it says here 深夜 something 弱，其实也坚强，万物草木 something. So I'm pretty sure that's from the Tao Te Ching, which is like a philosophical manuscript of morality, I guess, from ancient China. So that's about how, you know, death and life. So if you're too strong, you know, death comes to those who are overly strong, and those who are weak might be able to stave off death even more. It doesn't make sense when I say it like that. I'm not really familiar with it, but I just know that, you know, strength doesn't necessarily mean long survival. God, that sounds so bad when I say it. Awkward. Alright, I'm going to look that up. I am going to look that up. I'm sorry, Arthur. I'm so sorry. So you've got the Temperance, beautiful, red hair. You've got the flowers and the swords, so, you know, life and death, beauty and destruction. You've got the bloody ten and the hand of the whole, so mercy and, you know, brutality, I guess. And you've got this yin yang. We call it the yin yang because that's in dark, yang, light. It's not quite that simple, but you've got it there, and that's the Tai Chi symbol, Tai Chi. So I guess temperance is good because it includes the idea that, you know, you've got to temper yourself because within the light there is darkness, within good there is bad. There's always that duality, so you've got to not stray to either extreme. You've got to stay balanced, and I guess that's the essence of the temperance card. Oh God. Right, so we've got the devil. Beautiful card. Look at how golden it is. So it's not quite the darkness, you know, the Prince of Darkness that we tend to see, but instead it's, you know, the light bringer in his/her/its most glorious form, which I believe it's very apt. And then we've got the Tower card, which is a human figure with some kind of eye at the back. And if you can see that it's cracked, the face is cracked, and, you know, kingdom is fallen. I've got no idea what that is. Hang on. Pretty sure it's some kind of scepter, I guess, and you've got the dog at the bottom. So that's some kind of country, I believe. Alright, you know what, I'm going to just look it up. That's the Tower card. There we go. Oh, it's a fox, sorry. And the grapes, right. Cognitive dissonance. Oh, sorry. There we go. Okay. Ooh, that is so meaningful. So the Tower card asks us to realize the unpleasant truth that we are wrong and we must correct our actions. That is such a lovely card. So lovely. So it's a parable. Okay, and we've got the star. Beautiful star. So beautiful. And you've got even this subtle reflection, so which implies that she's floating above water. Beautiful. And the moon. So beautiful. We've got the sun. Gorgeous. Judgment. To be honest, I was a bit underwhelmed by this card because the gloss is sudden. You know, you see all this beautiful gloss in all the other major arcana cards, and you kind of get a bit underwhelmed by whatever this is. But at the same time, this is such an impressive card. Look at the artwork, look at how it captures this ethereal, smoky kind of essence to it, and how Judgment holds, you know, spear has been wounded, like Justice has been wounded. Of course, there's the Justice card, and then it's wading through clouds. It's transcendent. It's beautiful. And we've got the world. Absolutely beautiful card. And that's, oh, right. So the Anand card was placed all the way at the back for some reason. But since the book includes it in the major arcana, I'm just going to replace it in here. So that's Anand. It comes from an Indian, if I'm not wrong, it comes from an Indian tradition of some kind of snake, I guess. So, yeah, according to the book, this space here actually exists in one of the star systems that we can see, and so he decided to add that in the empty space, which I thought was absolutely beautiful and really creative. So you can see just from the major arcana that the creator has vast knowledge in, you know, astrology and myths and symbolism. It's so incredible that he managed to meld all that together into a cohesive deck, because this is cohesive. Like, you don't see, you know, in certain decks, like for example the Ostara Tarot, you know, you kind of, well, it is cohesive, but at the same time it's not really. So yeah, very impressed. Next we've got the minor arcana, and this would be, I think that's, I'm just right. So this is the first minor arcana, and that's the wand. So this got me a bit confused at the start because of the feather, so I assumed that this was swords, because of the air element, and you know, what looks like music notes, but apparently it is the fire element, which is fine. So another thing to note is none of these have any markings at all to tell you what suits they are, so you've got to be able to recognize the cards, and it's not that easy to recognize, because look at this, like this could be anything. This is obviously cups, but at the same time there's a dove on it, so you know, it could be air, it could be water, and that's confusing. So I'm going to consult the book to see if he's adhering to the elements of the suits. I've got some suspicion that he does not. Yep, I don't think he does. So I don't think that we should be considering the elements when we look at the cards, because obviously that's just going to confuse you, and we'll see how it goes. I will flip through and see if we're able to get a cohesive story from it. So that's the Ace of Wands. So this is not a feather, it's a quill, which makes sense now, as you know, the pen that writes down your passions. So it does make sense, but only after reading it. So I mean, I should have seen that it's a quill, but and here we've got the Two of Wands, and then the three. This one really confused me. There's water, there's fire, there's air, and there's fire, and there are fish in it. So that's the three. And then we've got the four, which is some kind of bird. Five. So suddenly you've got this empty color. So if you know what the fives in the tarot represent, it makes sense, because this is a card that's of, you know, conflict. So you've got the fire that has died out, and you've got conflict. So kudos to that. I appreciate that. And then there's the six, which is victory. So you've got the soldier's hat. And then you've got the 7, which... Oh, look at that. And then you've got the 8, the 9, and the 10. Oh, look at that. Yeah, carrying too much burden. I love that there's a second beetle. So you could be carrying the burden of someone else as well. And you've got the page. Again, androgynous, more feminine I think, but yeah, who knows. The knight, definitely female. You've got the queen. You can see that she's holding a mask, so some kind of deception, or rather a disguise, I guess. So the passion is still tempered somewhat, or disguised really well. So you might be playing the role of an actor, I guess. And you've got the king, absolutely gorgeous king. Right, so that's the wands. The cards don't seem to be sticking together anymore. You can see from this that the cards are still stuck together, so that's going to be tough. Right. And this is the suit of cups. The ace. 2. Oh, that is so creative. You've got the broken arrow at the top. Very creative. And 3. So the cups are quite easy to recognize, I think. Yep. Got the 3. And the 4, which is a willow in the back. Very interesting symbolism, God. And then we've got the 5 cracked cups, shattered cups. So the 5 seem to be all, sapped of the vitality, sapped of positivity, and I really love that about this deck. And that's of course the 6. And oh my goodness, so that's the 7. Very, very beautiful. Where's the 8? There we go. Oh my goodness. The 8. So jellyfish. And the 9. So the 9 is interesting because of this. For those of you who still don't know what this is, those are anal beads, so including a sex toy in here. It's really interesting, really cheeky. But I only know this because Arthur explicitly pointed it out on his Instagram. Oh, so if you want to follow his Instagram, it's True Black Tarot, I think. I'm going to link it in the video. So 10, which is a very beautiful card. And we've got the page. It's a rabbit, fish, rabbit. Oh, so gorgeous. And that's the knight. So I love that it's not just, gender bending throughout, so all the knights are going to be female. I love that there's still male knights, and there are female knights as well, and the female pages, male pages. I love that it's so balanced. It's not, explicitly gender bending. It's not going to be pure, mostly feminine or mostly masculine. It's so balanced. I love it. And that's the queen. Love that in the suit of the cups, it's very obvious that they all look like they're underwater. You see the hair drifting, the bubbles. That's the king. so gorgeous. Alright, and for two more, that would be right. So this would be, of course, the swords. Swords seem to be stuck together. Yep, somewhat stuck together. There we go. There we go. Okay. That's the ace. I've got the roses. The two of swords. What's written there? We've got no idea. Maybe the book will enlighten us. From what I can see, from what I can guess, maybe like a wanted piece of paper or something. A message or letter torn apart by a reader unwilling to accept its contents. Right. Okay. And we've got the three, very traditional, stabbing of the heart. Very traditional. Oh, this is so gorgeous. And that's the 4 crystalline daggers. 5. So we've got so many different kinds of blades. This one looks like, I'm gonna sound like a country bumpkin because I can't really remember what this is called. Is this a sai? No, I don't think so. It's basically what the Dothraki use. Alright. Let me just look at it. Right, okay. So this amazing, it's amazing that for these cards, this suit, it seems like he does explain where each sword comes from. So that was the Chinese sword, and then there's the Moroccan sword, Moroccan daggers, and then we've got the Neolithic knives. So those weren't crystalline; those were stone knives. And this one's Egyptian, and the next one's medieval. So that is yet another impressive detail of this deck. That he managed to research all these different kinds of blades. So amazing. Oh my goodness. Love this deck so much. And I haven't even used it yet. I just love it so much. Right, so we've got the 5. So this 5 isn't really as colorless as the others. But I think this suit is a bit different because there are more, sufferings cards, I guess. The 8, oh my god. Oh my god. This is so gorgeous. Oh my god. I think because the background's black, the red just stands out so much. It just looks like someone bled on this piece of card. It's just so impressive. 10 dead birds and 1 victorious bird. And then there's the page. Back to male pages. Oh, male knights as well. And then we've got the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords. So gorgeous. And here we have the last suit of pentacles. Some cards seem to be sticking together as well. You can see how thick the card stock is. Right, so that's the Ace of Pentacles. This will throw a lot of people off because it looks like a 2, but it is an ace, so that's going to throw people off. 2 weighing weighing of options, I guess. Three. Oh, that's gorgeous. So with money, you can make your plants grow. Did you see that flash? Oh my god. Okay. The four, a web. Oh, look at that. So all the money getting, um, what's that word? God, like jealously guarded, I guess, to the extent where it's wasting away. So it's holding on too tightly to your assets. 5, back to the colorless. 5, broken coins, poverty. 6, 7, oh man. 8, smithing coins, I guess. 9, oh man. And so it looks like a conjuration at 10. And now that looks gorgeous. So, I just read somewhere that an elephant that was forced to do this had its legs broken and then it died. So perhaps this isn't, to me, knowing what I know now, this isn't the best image. But you can't really fault anyone for that. It's still a beautiful image, but just that, bias now. Page. Night. Oh my god, look at that. So it does respect the nature, earth element a lot more here. And you can see that he's both brawn and brained. So, the the knight is focused, he's using knowledge to create assets. And of course this is all the inspirations. Beautiful image. The queen looks very much like the Adam and Eve myth, and the king. So you can see that even the king and the queen and the knight, well, the court cards basically, not this perhaps, they look more affluent, they've got more clothes on, they've got more jewelry. So gorgeous. So this is the court cards of abundance after all, so that makes sense. Alright, so that's it for the review. I absolutely love this deck. I love it so much, I can't express how much I love this deck because it's just so beautiful. And I'm glad that I made that choice. This was a gift from someone, a good friend, so thank you for that. It's everything I hoped for and more, so I can't really express just how beautiful this is. Alright, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to try to shuffle. So because of how thick the card stock is, those of us with smaller hands might find it a bit of a hassle to shuffle because of how thick it is. Let me see if I've got another deck, like a tarot deck for comparison. So we've got the Animal Wisdom Tarot, and you can see that the deck is barely, it's just up to here, so it's about 50% thicker than most decks. So it is going to be a bit hard to shuffle, but I'm glad that the cards are more slender. So they are on the slender side, which thankfully means that you can grip it a bit more. But I've got, my fingers aren't really the shortest, so if your hands are smaller than mine, which, especially a lot of women, you're going to have a bit of problem shuffling it the traditional way, like the overhand shuffle. so you might have to do the table shuffle. Um, Definitely would not recommend the other, that whatever you call that shuffle. God, my brain isn't working today. That shuffle, definitely wouldn't recommend it because of how beautiful the deck is. Um, but you can feel that deck is going to fulfill its promise of lasting a lifetime. This, oh God, this is so. It's really easy to shuffle. Once you get past the thickness of the cards, so it is quite easy to shuffle. Um, and somehow I don't get that feeling. You know, when you get a gilded deck, you sometimes feel like the gilding might come off. Um, this one doesn't give you that feeling at all. It feels indestructible, which I really appreciate. Um, because I am so particular about my cards, it's about protecting my cards. Oh look, we've got a jumper. Wonder what this is. The King of Swords. So anyone who has watched my videos will know that the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords is what I always get when I'm doing a reading on myself. So to me, this has become the card representing me to my tarot decks. So that's amazing. Right. So you can tell that it's going a bit slowly. I'm really not used to it yet. I don't think I might be used to it that much. So you can see a bit of glitter on it that isn't from this deck. It's from the Threats of Fate tarot. I got that tarot. It arrived at the same time. So I'm going to do a review of that one some other day. I'm doing a review of this one because I can't wait to use it, and I can't wait to do readings with it. So you know, I didn't want to shuffle everything and then have to get everything back in order for the review, because I think it's a hassle. So yeah, as always, I'm going to do a mini reading, so probably something like, you know, what should I look out for in the week to come. So before you do any card before you work with any tarot deck, it's important that you claim it energetically, you bless it energetically, and make sure that it's yours and not someone else's energy in it. So I have already done that with this deck the moment I unboxed it. So you can do a lot of ways to do it. I don't really do Doreen Virtue's method of knocking on the cards, but you can do it. It's simple enough. I invoke the mother, of course, to do it for me. I should stop talking and start reading. Oh, there we go. Okay then. Death. Oh my god. And okay. There we go. So you can see how beautiful it is. It's unfortunate that my table's black, dark brown, so it doesn't stand up as much as it could. But it is beautiful. So beautiful. Right, so we've got the first card, and that would be the Ten of Swords, followed by Destiny, followed by Death, of course, and that's Wands, right? Seven of Wands. So I'm going to do this one by the book, just to see if it's, you know, basically the same symbolism that I'm used to. See, you know by now that I tend to advocate against using the book too much, but I really can't make heads or tails of it. So 10, crisis, breakdown, perseverance, closure, deep suffering. Right, so persevere. So I just got myself a new job, and it's currently still a bit murky. I mean, I've got the job and I've signed the letter, but whether or not I get, so I'm basically working as a music teacher. So whether or not I am able to get more students and all that, that's still a mystery to me. So I'm assuming the Destiny card would be basically the same as the Wheel of Fortune. Let's see. Reversal of fate, luck, inevitability. So there are events that are beyond human control. So in this case, I would assume that, let things happen the way they happen, because some things are out of my control, and I do feel like in this new job, everything depends on someone else's decision, the coordinator's decisions. So that is a bit worrying. At the same time, I guess this card is saying, don't worry so much. Got death. Okay, death, end, evolution, change, mortality. So it is a wolf after all. So the northern wolf, that's correct. Right, so what I missed out is the figure on the right is also from Norse mythology. There we go, it's from the Tao Te Ching. Tao Te Ching in Chinese. Trees and plants in their early growth are soft and brittle, at the death dry and withered. Flexibility and death rigidness. Right, so that's what it means. I'm so sorry for mangling it just now. Right. So it does seem like both these cards, or rather even this card, is talking about an era coming to an end. I would think that is true in the sense that, when I get a new job, this is my first proper job that I've gotten on my own, I guess. Other than that, it's always been, going to work based on people I know and things like that. So this is the very first time I've gone for a proper interview. And so it's kind of the death of an era, an era of dependence, an era of education. So yeah, from being a student into being a teacher. So I am very excited by where this is going. I am very excited, and it seems like there's going to be some changes in my life. And that's the 7 of Wands, I believe. Wands, 7 of Wands. Yep, so that's the defensive, conviction, resistance, resilience, determination to pull through. Seven of Wands pictures an individual who is highly skilled but also cutthroat. Aha. Right. So this could be warning about certain someone who might be dangerous, I guess, who might think that I'm what is that word? Oh god, my brain. Basically, I'm it's not infringing. It's basically stepping into someone else's territory. I have been careful not to do anything of the sort, but seems that might be that danger. You can see that I can't even pick the entire deck up in one shot. God. Okay. So yeah, I'm not going to say too much about it on here, but I do know what it means. I'm going to draw one last card, just for some clarity, I guess. Okay, there's a jumper card. So we've got 2 cards instead of 1. I drew this one, but this one jumped. 5 of Swords and the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man is usually, about how it could be about surrender, it could be about being trapped, but most of the being trapped is based on myself or oneself. Let's see what it says. Surrender, faith, sacrifice, perspective. Yeah, so it's about surrender. So the fact that it came with the 5 of Swords, I think that's quite significant. So the 5, it's selfish, immoral conflict, represents selfishness, taking advantage of others for self-gain, law-breaking, criminality, morally dubious behavior. So I believe that this is the dichotomy that I'm presented with, and obviously I'm going to have to choose wisely. Obviously surrender is better than, that. So yeah. God. Okay, so that's a heavy reading. So anyway, this is the True Black Tarot, and you can see from here that it's very, very balanced. There's no inherent, positivity or negativity to it. It's just this neutral, truthful kind of energy, which I absolutely love. Love that the colors are mostly greens, oranges, golds, reds. It's just very soothing. It's very, very soothing energy. Would have liked if the black was a bit blacker, because you can see that it's kind of grey. But at this point it's just some petty. That just sounds petty. Because this is an absolutely gorgeous deck, and I honestly, this might be my most gorgeous deck. I don't think I've seen anything quite this gorgeous. Yes, that's the 3rd time I'm saying gorgeous. So yeah. So many, many, many thanks to Arthur for creating such a masterpiece. This is honestly one of the best gifts that I could ever have hoped for, and so I'm so grateful to the person who gave this to me, and I'm so grateful to the author for creating it, and so I'm so grateful to be able to hold this in my hand, because it's such a blessing. Yeah, so that's it for me. This is I think the next shipment is coming out in June, and if I'm not wrong, this is going to be in print for the rest of eternity. So if you're interested in it, you can check out the website, which I will link below, and I think it's trueblacktarot.com or trueblack.com, something like that. And you can see a detailed some detailed images. I don't think they're all there, but I think a good 20 or 30 of them are there. You can follow their Instagram as well. I don't think he's updating his Instagram that much, but because he used it to communicate with us, tell us, keep us updated on the progress of all the reprinting and all that, which I really really appreciate. So yeah, the price might be a bit steep. It's at I think 70 USD. And you can get individual cards for I think 7 per card, if I'm not wrong. So if you do get a card that's damaged, you can replace just one card. From the last I checked, the prototype decks are all sold out, so the collectible items have all been sold out, which makes sense since it's been 2 years, I think, or the better part of 2 years. So yeah, definitely check this out if you can afford it. This is a 10 out of 10 recommendation for me. Absolutely gorgeous, absolutely worth every penny. Um, so yeah, I would rather get this than get 2 other decks, for example. So yeah, absolutely gorgeous. And thank you for watching. This is Thingy from the Sanctum of the Soul. And have a pleasant day ahead. Have a great week ahead. See you.